do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help. Think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
Joe Biden knows how to do this.
Yes.
He knows how to do this. He's quite good at this. And you know, you can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I mean...
He rambles.
Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just...
But can I mention one thing?
This is why, of course, she's on The View and not working for the most powerful man in the world, because Karoline would wipe the floor with you bitter banshees any day.
In a live television moment that left audiences nationwide in shock, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt and veteran actress and talk show host Whoopi Goldberg engaged in a fiery exchange on The View.
I said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
You know, we have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and sex and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
The confrontation was so intense that it sent ripples across social media platforms, sparking debates and discussions that continue to this day.
That was so good. So good. In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you know who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, it's all, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
What led to this explosive encounter, and why is it still a hot topic? Let's delve into the details. Who are Karoline Leavitt and Whoopi Goldberg? Karoline Leavitt. At just 27 years old, Karoline Leavitt has made history as the youngest White House press secretary. Her rapid rise in politics is fueled by her strong conservative values, a fierce loyalty to Donald Trump, and a no-nonsense approach to the media.
This chaos of 24/7 work is a temporary matter. And that's what at least I tell myself to get through these very long and hard days. But I would reject that you can't be a good mom and be good at your job. I think you can do both. It certainly it's not for everybody. And it takes a lot of work and will and faith and prayer. And it's hard, but it can be done. Why is the media so against cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from the government? I don't get it.
I just want to ask you a question.
We won't be deterred. We will not be deterred from people like you.
Before assuming her current role, Leavitt worked as an assistant press secretary in the first Trump administration and later served as communications director for Representative Elise Stefanik. Her failed congressional run in 2022 didn't slow her down. If anything, it propelled her deeper into the political sphere, ultimately securing her a prominent position in Trump's re-election campaign and, eventually, the White House.
You know, you do have that maternal instinct, but also recognizing, like, I'm doing this work for my son and for all children to make this country better. And it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Yes. It's also it's temporary, right? In 4 years, my son will be 4 years old and the president will no longer be at the White House. And then I'll move on and do something else. But
Whoopi Goldberg, born Corinne Elaine Johnson. Whoopi Goldberg is one of the most recognizable names in Hollywood. As an EGOT-winning actress, comedian, and co-host of The View, she has spent decades at the forefront of entertainment and social activism. Since joining The View in 2007, Goldberg has used her platform to champion progressive causes, often clashing with conservative guests. She is known for her quick wit, strong opinions, and unwavering advocacy for marginalized communities. Given her background and outspoken nature, it was no surprise that she took issue with Leavitt's recent remarks about wokeness. When these two powerhouses collided on live television, the result was nothing short of explosive. The drama began during Leavitt's very first press briefing as White House press secretary. On January 28, 2025, she boldly declared that the administration would be cutting all funding related to wokeness and transgenderism in federal agencies. The statement immediately drew criticism from progressive circles, with many accusing Leavitt of pushing a divisive, exclusionary agenda. Whoopi Goldberg didn't hold back. Addressing the issue on The View, she questioned whether Leavitt understood the historical significance of wokeness and accused her of dismissing the struggles of marginalized communities.
There was $71 billion worth of fraud in one single fiscal year that we know about. And so that is a lot of fraud, Peter.
To be clear, that $71 billion was from 2015 to 2022. So it wasn't in just one year. And it was
$71 billion.
But it wasn't in one year, just over multiple years, 2015 to 2022.
So are you defending $71 billion in fraud, Peter? That's a lot of money.
The criticism set the stage for what would be an intense, no-holds-barred showdown when Leavitt agreed to appear on the show. The conversation started off relatively civil, with Goldberg questioning Leavitt's stance on wokeness and attempting to paint her as uninformed. But the discussion quickly became tense as Leavitt pushed back hard, refusing to back down. Goldberg: wokeness is about awareness. It's about standing up for marginalized people. How can you be against that? Leavitt: Whoopi, the problem is that wokeness has turned into a tool for censorship and division. What started as awareness has become an excuse to silence people who disagree with the mainstream narrative.
They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality.
As the debate continued, co-hosts like Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin tried to jump in to support Goldberg, but Leavitt stayed on message, refusing to let them derail her arguments. At one point, she challenged the hypocrisy of Hollywood elites who, in her words, lecture Americans on morality while living in gated communities far removed from the everyday struggles of working-class people. The turning point of the exchange came when Goldberg tried to cut Leavitt off and dismiss her stance. Goldberg: maybe you should spend more time listening rather than attacking. Without missing a beat, Leavitt fired back: Whoopi, the real issue here is that the left only wants a conversation if it's one-sided. The moment someone challenges your views, you label it an attack. That's not a debate, that's censorship. The studio audience let out an audible gasp, with some even clapping in response to Leavitt's retort. Goldberg, caught off guard, tried to regain control of the discussion, but visibly struggled to respond with the same level of composure. This moment shifted the energy in the room. Even longtime The View viewers noticed that Goldberg had been uncharacteristically rattled. The discussion soon fizzled out, and within minutes, the show cut to a commercial break.
Most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
The internet exploded following the confrontation, with both sides passionately defending their respective viewpoints. Clips of the moment spread across Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, where the hashtag #WhoopiLost trended for hours. Conservative commentators praised Leavitt for standing her ground and exposing what they called liberal hypocrisy. On the other hand, Goldberg's defenders claimed that Leavitt was using cheap conservative talking points to score political points.
She didn't see that briefing, because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her own.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark.
This exchange only added to the growing list of controversies surrounding both Leavitt and Goldberg. Over the years, Whoopi Goldberg has been no stranger to backlash, most recently for her past suspension from The View over controversial Holocaust remarks. Meanwhile, Leavitt has been accused of making inflammatory statements about LGBTQ+ rights, illegal immigration, and climate policies. Critics argue that she represents a brand of politics that seeks to roll back decades of social progress. Regardless of personal views, one thing is undeniable. This debate highlighted the ever-growing divide in American political discourse. The cultural battle over wokeness continues, with both sides unwilling to budge. But did this debate actually change anyone's mind, or was it simply another example of how political discourse has become a battle of sound bites rather than genuine discussions? This debate is far from over, and we want to hear from you. Was Karoline Leavitt right to call out wokeness, or do you think Whoopi Goldberg had a point? Sound off in the comments below. Do you think political debates on TV actually help shape public opinion, or are they just entertainment? Let's discuss. And if you love in-depth political showdowns, hit that subscribe button and check out our other videos for more hard-hitting analysis. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video.